Good morning. So today we're going to talk about how to create a pro forma for a laundromat. But this pro forma that we're going to go through, you can do it for any type of business, and it's highly recommended. Once you start getting pretty serious about a particular business or a location, you need to start putting in your head what you can expect from this business and what the kind of work is going to be required for you to get to those numbers that you want. All right, you want to be super confident when you're entering into a new venture and running a few different scenarios in your pro forma will absolutely help that and actually help you get funding from an investor or a bank or something like that, because they'll know that you have a good grasp on expenses and have an idea of what you're going to do with the business. All right, so if you find this video helpful and you like it, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks a lot. Okay, let's get right into it. So we're going to work on making a pro forma for a laundromat. So when we make a pro forma, we need to start off with some assumptions. And for us, since our product is basically usage of the machines or rental of the machine, we're going to do a utilization assumption. All right. So we have 30-pound and a 40-pound washers, about 30 pounds, 2 40 pounds. And we might calculate turns per day. That's a very common way to figure out how much a laundry should do. An average laundry will do, like a good functioning laundry will do, about 5 turns per day. For this situation, I don't know if I'm going to do turns per day or maybe total utilization percentage. Yeah, let's do total utilization percentage. So if we look at the hours per day, which is basically going to be open for 15 hours, 7 to 10. And then from there, we're going to figure out how many turns of the washing machine can we do in 15 hours. That's if the machines were constantly in use. So our cycle time for the washers is going to be about 23 minutes. So we'll take 23 minutes for cycle time. So we'll take 15 hours times 60 minutes. You can use a calculator for this. 15 hours times 60 minutes, and then divided by the 23 minutes. That gives us a maximum cycle per day of 39. And if we do the same thing for the dryers, we got that 15 hours times 60 minutes divided by 40. We'll get a maximum dry time of our maximum dries of 22 for all the machines. So we know we can't dry more than we can wash. We have to assume that every single order is a new customer. Although in a normal laundry, we get whites and colors would get mixed in the dryer, so you could actually dry probably around the same amount. But anyway, this is going to be a good starting point. So then we figure out the max revenue per day, and we just multiply these up real quick. And I'll have to figure out how to do it, so I'll kind of futz around, but I finally figure it out. And super easy. It's just, 6th grade math. So multiplication, and then we figure out the max revenue per month. So we go through and just multiply all those numbers by 30. And this would be great if you could get your laundromat to constantly be in use. It's impossible. But this is a good starting point, because from here, we're just going to calculate percentages. All right, so now we have our max revenue per month. And so we're going to go make some assumptions. So the utilization rate for an average laundry or a really well-run laundry in a very urban area is about 25%. And you can Google what it is for your area. It's pretty easy. But we're just going to make a few assumptions that we're not going to be at 25% for a while. So we're going to just kind of plot some different percentages out and kind of figure out, what the numbers would be at those different points. All right, so we need to kind of fill out some fields here. So we got the projected monthly machine revenue, and we're just gonna kind of go through and like pick our, put our points in. And you see, I went in and decided that it made more sense to change it weekly. Won't be as accurate, but it's easier for me because I do my payroll on a weekly basis and I empty the quarters on a weekly basis. I can really understand week by week better than month by month. So I'm going to just go in and kind of change some of these numbers a bit to reflect weekly totals and not daily and monthly. All right, so from there, you just do some multiplication of the max revenue times the 10% or 10%. I put an extra column in there for 4% because that's what they're doing right now. And then you would find that max revenue and just multiply that out by 52 for the year. We get the max revenue. And so, making this pro forma is super important because you can kind of see what to expect from a laundry. So we're going to figure out the wash and fold. For this, I'm just going to plot out some different numbers. One being 300 a week. That's not that much. If you're charging $1 a pound, that's only 300 pounds in a week. It's like 50 pounds a day. It's very doable. So we'll just plot out some different points, 300, 500, 750, and 1,000 a week. And then we'll multiply that over the, 52 weeks respectively. And as you're going through this, you try to figure out shortcuts. I'm not an Excel person. I just use it for basic calculations like this. But to be able to do a pro forma on Excel is super helpful when evaluating any business. And remember, you can use this same concept on any type of business. Instead of utilization assumption, it would be products sold. And you just make an assumption of how many products you can sell. All right, so we're looking at soap and bag sales. That's going to be your counter sales. Same place the wash and fold is going to go. So that's going to be completely separated out from your self-service revenue. So, I'm just putting in numbers basically. If I've sold $50 a week worth of product, 75, 100, 125. I could probably do more, most likely, if you price it right, and you train your employees to be to know how to upsell customers, especially wash and fold customers or in-store customers, on some of the premium soaps. It'll make sense, but it's always going to depend on your area, what the surrounding stores are, and that's going to affect that. If they can go and get Tide next door from Target, they might not do that. So we figure out the total pro forma revenue, and that's your self-service, wash and fold, bag sales. All right, so that's everything. And then we got to start figuring out some cost of goods sold. All right, so we got utilities. That's going to be about 9% of your revenue. And then the cost of wash and fold, you figure it's another 10%. That's to cover all the soap and bags that you would use, or plastic that you would use to wrap it, however you package your product. And then we're going to say the cost of vended soaps and the logo bags, it's going to be about 50%. So 50% to the cost and 50% profit. All right, so then we figure out our cost of goods sold, and you can just check those formulas. Feel free to pause at any point and check those formulas out. All right, so now we gotta, I'm just gonna bold some of these things out so it's easier to see. So we gotta figure out labor, insurance. These are kind of our fixed cost, although labor is not really a fixed cost because the more work you get, presumably the labor will go up. But for now, this is the assumption that one employee, or basically two employees, one employee each shift can handle up to $1,000 a week in wash and fold, which is, again, not a lot. That's about $1,000 in a week. If you divide that out over 7, it's like less than 150 pounds a day or something like that. So it's very doable for one employee to be able to bang out 1,000 pounds. So the next thing is we got to figure out how much is it going to cost us in labor. So one way I like to do is put the days, hours, and pay. And then I usually put 13% for tax. And just go ahead and multiply those numbers out. And then we'll add that 13% on there. And we got to do the little accounting function there and make sure it's cash. There we go. So we're at 87,000. So basically at 4%, that's what the laundromat is doing right now. It's unattended. So right now, the current owner does not have this labor cost. But I'm going to keep it in or put a number in there because I cannot run it like her. I'm not going to be able to work it myself. I'm not going to go every day. And I want to run a better operation. So I want to have someone on staff to do all the cleaning and folding and all that. So I'm going to, from the onset, run it like a business. So some of these other numbers I already know, so I can just fill them in. And this is something that from any businesses you're going to do, these are real costs that you can figure out by making some phone calls or looking at their income sheet or balance sheet. All right, so I'll just enter some numbers in, and you see I'm multiplying them out by 12 just to kind of give me what the yearly breakdown would be. All right, so we find out our fixed total fixed expenses, and just add those up real quick. Thank you, Excel. Oh yeah, we forgot advertising. If you're not advertising, you're dying. So we got to throw something in there. So we'll just say $1,000 a month in advertising. All right, so now we got to figure out our cash flow. So this first scenario that she's running, if I went in and ran it like I'm going to run a business, I will lose $78,000 if I did not increase the business per year. So that would be horrible, right? So I'm going to go in and change some things with the employees because if I'm not doing that much business, I need to reduce the hours of employees. You can see as far as expenses, the employee cost is the biggest expense. So I'm going to go through and do one for 8 hours. So I'll just multiply that out by 0.5. And then, for all the 8-hour ones, I'll just drag that across. And then for the 16-hour ones, I will just keep it the original number. So I multiply it out by 1 and then drag that over. And so now we got kind of a more reasonable cost. So within the first year, if I didn't increase business or run it better, I would lose $33,000, right? So now we can go through and kind of figure out what we can assume by increasing business. All right, we got some red there. We just got to change that up. That should actually be in the black. And there you go, a pro forma for a laundromat.